Ray Langenbach, Documentarian. Imagine, if you will, you're at the museum watching a video. The camera angles are a bit odd, and the video is mostly of people talking about their dreams. The artwork by Ray Langenbach is called Singapore Subliminal. It was shot in 1994 during the lead-up to the trials of artist Joseph Ng and arts manager Iris Tan. Ng had performed Brother Cane very early on New Year's Day 1994 at the Fifth Passage Art Space. The New Paper tabloid sensationalized the performance on their front cover, and the National Arts Council reacted by condemning the event. Obscenity charges were brought against Ng, as well as charges against Tan for breach of public license conditions. Both were fined. As Langenbach recalls, during that time, friends and colleagues began to have odd dreams. Back then, he always carried his video camera, so he started asking people, "What did you dream last night?" and recorded them. For Langenbach, the subliminal has always been the fundamental level of consciousness. He wanted to bring that level to the surface. As he puts it, quote, "Singapore Subliminal is about the dream state of Singapore." Langenbach came to Penang in the late 1980s to teach at the university. Prior to his leaving his native US, he had worked in a museum, and aside from his day job, would do performance art. But he noticed that his performances were becoming rather cynical in their critique of Reagan's America and felt the need to leave. After a number of years in Penang, he lived and worked in Singapore, then Sydney, before returning to Malaysia, settling in Kuala Lumpur, where he continues to teach, write, and make art. For some interim years, he lived and worked in Helsinki. His artistic and academic practices range from creating performance, video, installation and painting, to curating and convening gatherings. He researches and writes on such topics as cultural theory, performance, and queer culture. A key part of his practice since coming to Southeast Asia has been the documentation of performance art and other cultural events. Langenbach has said, quote, "I was collecting art before I really was doing it." He started as a young adult, saving money to buy iconic strike and restrike etchings and lithographs from itinerant companies making the rounds on university campuses. Appreciating the work of other artists has always been foundational to Langenbach's own practice, and his videos of other artists' work is an extension of this early disposition. Yet he's also critical of certain habits and attitudes underlying the documentation of performance. Quote, "When I record through the camera, I purposefully don't hold it in front of my face. Very rarely will I hold it and look through the viewfinder or, these days, the screen. I tend to hold it at the level of maybe an 8-year-old kid's head." The way Langenbach uses the camera, it functions somewhat independently. For instance, during a performance, he might point in the direction of the artist. Then something else might catch his attention, and he'll look over, still keeping the camera trained in its position. Or he might hear something to the side and let the camera follow the sound, while he focuses on the action in front of him. Eventually, the camera and his own gaze will resynchronize, with either the camera moving to match his eyes or vice versa. Langenbach argues that a common problem with the video documentation of performance is that it, quotes, "privileges the artist, the charismatic megafauna," to borrow a term from biology, who creates an artwork. Museum curators tend to look for the fetish. They know that their bread and butter is capturing certain personages and putting them in the center of the screen. I'm against this monumentalization of the artist, even though I'm aware that that's exactly what the camera does. It monumentalizes its subjects. As Langenbach admits, one cannot entirely avoid this tendency. But by allowing the camera to not so much capture as absorb the surrounding scene, one can put the performer in tension with the other contextual elements. Langenbach argues that what makes a performance compelling is precisely this tension between a larger context and the artist engaging in whatever way that context. He therefore aims to record both the environment of the performance with all its diverse incidental details as well as the performer. Moreover, Langenbach notes that any photo or video document is a contemporaneous mirror of its time and also a personal interpretation of those times. To view such documents in the present day is to travel back in time both objectively and subjectively. By resisting the convergence of the documentarian's viewpoint with the camera, the artist, performance, environment, and its historical moment, Langenbach endeavors to create video recordings where the camera can function as a subliminal eye.